Okay, so it's been a couple minutes, and that protein break there, it's just not going anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and add these hops in. I'm going to keep a very, very close eye, obviously, on the foam. If it ends up swelling up too much, we'll go ahead and we'll lower the gas on the propane tank. But I want to go ahead and, it's got a nice boil going, so it's just a matter of getting everything incorporated and then letting it do its thing for an hour. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so here we go. 4 ounces of hops, and my hand is on the gas trigger, so to speak. Oh, I knew it. I had to lower that down to almost completely off. That's the thing with brewing beer on the propane burners and stuff. You really want to make sure you keep an eye on it. These boilovers can happen literally in a matter of just a couple seconds. Point in case. And so you got to just keep your eye on it and make sure that it's you know, boiling at a rate that you want it to. I think I need to get a bigger pot, you know, for my own mental well-being. But you can see all those hops there. And man, that's a full boil. I just turned it down, so it's going to decrease a bit. Yeah, that's a pretty nice boil there. So now we're going to let that whole thing go for an hour. You know, it's those 4 ounces, 2 of Northdown and 2 of Kent Goldings for an hour. And then it'll be time to, about, you know, 10 minutes till the end or so, we will add our wort chiller and we will add the Whirlflock tablet. Dark beer like this, maybe not necessary that you have Whirlflock or Irish moss, but I always add it as a token of good measure. So, and that's if I can even find it. I'm sure I've got it down there somewhere, but I was looking for it earlier and couldn't find my baggie of the tablets. So we shall see. So we'll see you guys in about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, right around there. All right, we are at that time to add our Whirlflock tablet. I did find them. In it goes. And we're just going to give that a second here to basically dissolve in. And then it's time to add the wort chiller. You can typically see it where it's, you just look for where the foam is coming from at this point. Alright, I think it's looking pretty good. In with the chiller. Oh. You can hear the water that was still in there from the last time burning out. Alrighty, so now it's just a matter of giving it its last, 10 or 15 minutes here, and it's time to chill this bad boy down and get it in. We actually have the water for our second runnings up and going, so I'm excited about that. We're going to get that in there, see what kind of gravity we can pull out of those grains, and if it's looking good, we'll go ahead and ferment it too. Why not have 10 gallons of beer from a 5-gallon batch? So we'll see you in a few. Okay, we are at about 75 degrees here, so I'm actually probably going to take it out of take the chiller out get it into the primary and see where we are when it comes to volume. And hopefully it will be at a point where we can basically top it up if need be and get the yeast in there and then get on to batch number 2. Okay, we are at pitching temp and it is time to get this bad boy into the fermenter. So you know my method. Dump it. I'm actually not going to deal with the siphon right now just because I got so many things going on, so we're just going to do our old method. Hopefully a lot of the hops will be settled to the bottom. Whoop. I bet there's hops in there. Woo! I need a bigger strainer. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is just let this bad boy basically strain through it and then clean it out and do it again. Okay, so we've got all that beer in here now. Basically it's just a matter of getting all this hops out. That's about half the hops that were in there. And it looks like our volume's actually sitting about 4.5 gallons. So I'm going to go ahead and top this up to just over 5. And then we're going to take a gravity reading and see where we are. Look how much it's bending my strainer. You can tell there's a lot going on in there. So almost there. Okay, time to take a hydrometer reading on this bad boy. Just over 5 gallons, probably about 5 1/4. Oh my goodness, look how dark that is. It's going to be brilliant. Alright, and it looks like we're actually spot on. We're about 1.092. I'll take that. 1092. And that's exactly why we needed to do 2 packs of yeast in this beast. Come on. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Put this over here so I can clean it off for round 2. And then pretty much, so we're about that 1092. That one actually works out pretty good. Okay, so I've got 2 packs of SO4 here. And we're just going to sprinkle it in literally right on top. Number 1. Fermentus recommends actually just adding their yeast directly to your wort, where Danstar recommends rehydration. So this one here, I'm just sprinkling it into the wort per their recommendations. And we've got pack number 2. Temperature on this bad boy sitting right at 70. So we're good. Oh, this sucker's gonna explode. I know it, I can feel it. Okay, where are we at here? We've got this guy. Okay, it's sanitizer in there. Put in the middle piece, and then I gotta find my topper. It's in my sanitizing tray here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now that we got this one done, I'm going to go ahead and move it into my fermenting room. And then we are going to go ahead and head back upstairs and see where we're at with the second runnings batch. Away we go! Okay, we just started draining that off down the kettle, and look how beautiful that is. Can't wait. Round 2. Go! And the second's runnings is up on to boil. Hopefully we shall have boiling here soon with that many BTUs. Looks just as good as the first. The gravity is about half of where the other one was. So where that first one's going to be coming in right at about 10% ABV, this one here should be coming in right at about 5. So to have a regular stout and an Imperial Stout both on tap, oh yeah, Joe's a happy guy. Okay, we are almost at the point where this sucker's going to start boiling, so it's just a matter of now keeping an eye on the, the foam, make sure it doesn't boil over there. Being at 1040 gravity right now, shouldn't be too bad actually. Gonna keep an eye on it though. You never want to walk away from any beer before it gets boiling, because I mean it's just a matter of seconds before they go up. So we will see you once this actually starts boiling, once the hop break gets done, and when we add some hops. I found an ounce of Kent Goldings in the fridge, so that's what we're going to put in this one. So we're going to have much more traditional stout. An ounce of Kent Goldings, and I actually found a packet of Nottingham that, believe it or not, expires next month. I've never had a pack of dry yeast sit that long, so it's going to be good. So we're pretty much past the hop break on this. It, just like the first one, is keeping up a lot of foam there on that side. And there's not really much you can do about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the hops incorporated and, start the countdown on this bad boy. Like I said, I found an ounce of Kent Goldings, 4.9% alpha acid. So we shall see how well they've kept over time. They smell spot on. They've got that sort of spicy character, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but they're not orange or funky looking at all. Very good. Okay, here we go. Again, keep your finger on the heat trigger. I want to make sure that it's gonna foam. Whoa, whoa. That's exactly what you want to avoid. Alrighty, well I'm going to go grab some paper towels. Okay, so as you can see I've got a couple little napkins there on the ground, but that boil over actually was not that bad at all. That was more steam than anything. I happened to kill the gas on it before it really had time to go nuts. So I know this sucker's going to go foamy again. I'm actually quite paranoid about it, because you just don't want a whole lot of sugar catching on fire. It'll be really hard to get off your pot, just creates a bigger mess than necessary. So I actually only 6 napkins soaked that up, so that really was not that bad. If left unattended, that would have been disastrous. It would have probably caught fire a bit. So, sugar and flame, you're going to end up with a bit of fire. So yeah, crisis averted. Yeah, so we're going to let this boil now for an hour, and then it's back to hitting the oral flock and getting the cooler in there, the immersion chiller. And we shall be on track. And so we just threw in the whirl flock right there fizzing away in the chiller, and now we're on to last 15 minutes. Rock and roll! Okay, so we took a reading on this bad boy and it's at 10:36, so we're going to go ahead and add our Nottingham. I'm not going to do the rehydration because honestly, I do not have the time for it. We're at the end of the brew day. Should work out just well, just adding it on in there. Give it a little bit of a swirl, get it moved around a little bit. They're not going to mind. They're going to go to town here anytime anyway. So, go ahead and get our bung in here. And then we're just going to let these bad boys basically sit. The one's already in its fermentation room. This one's going to be joining it right there. And yeah, now it's just a matter of the wait. Going to be probably 2 weeks in the primary, at least. And then we'll more than likely move it over into both of these into a secondary, just to make sure that they get some time to age off the trub. You know, stouts will typically age much better. You give them like 5 or 6 weeks and they're going to be awesome. So, all right, there we go. That is it. So, until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers! This is the second runnings. Perking away too. Okay, here we are at less than 12 hours later. Just got back from the store, and you see the lid there is basically swelling, and it's blowing out the side of the bucket. So I knew this was going to happen. So so I'm going to tidy this up, and we're going to get an air or a blow-off tube put on here before that lid explodes. Okay, so I literally just pulled the airlock out, and that's what started happening right there. That would be the issue. Happy yeast. Smells good. There's beer all over the thing, though. So, adventures in home brewing. And for now, crisis is averted. That's a little trick I learned from one of the guys in the local beer club here, homebrew club, the Beer Nuts. You can actually take the, you know, your 3-piece airlock apart and put a piece of 1/2-inch vinyl hose on there, fashion it into a, can you hear it? Fashion it basically into a blow-off. Which I would always wondered, how do you do that on buckets? Well, that's how you do it. You have a carboy, you can just put that big 1-inch hose on there, but with these guys you have to be a little more crafty, so. Alrighty, we're going to let it sit in there all night just in case it decides to clog and get gross again. But yeah, it's sitting right at like 68 degrees perfectly, and it's perking away like mad. Oh. Literally, blop, 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 blop. Life is good. And I just thought I'd show you that the other batch is doing very well too. Not sure if you can see there. There we go. Very, very happy creatures. Man, really happy creatures. Sitting in an unfinished basement here, concrete floor. Nice and cool, so these guys are going to be great. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking stoked.